The bulk of Byrne supporters are white ethnics, and they would be concerned about city taxes and crime. It seems to me, though, that crime is, in a sense, a red herring to some degree, because those white ethnics are less affected by crime than those blacks who are supporting Harold Washington. Yet those white ethnics cite crime.
Well, Dominic Pacyga, you live down at 62nd and Kedzie on the southwest side. There are a lot of folks down there who would say they're really afraid of crime. It's not a red herring.
Well, the Chicago Lawn area has seen a rise in crime over the last couple of months, actually over the last couple of years, the area around 62nd and Kedzie. I think what white ethnic voters are, I think Bill has made a very good point. White ethnic voters are looking from a homeowner's perspective on this. They're worried about property values, they're worried about taxes, they're worried about crime. These are traditional bungalow belt issues, and this is a traditional bungalow belt group. The home equity program, which some groups are pushing on the southwest side, is an answer to some of it.
Maybe on the ballot April 7th.
Right, it's supposed to be on the ballot possibly April 7th, and then possibly the city council will react to it. If that home equity program is pushed, and the mayor is supporting it, and Jane Byrne and all the other candidates are supporting it, that may ease up some of the fears. But these fears are long-standing. I think one has to look at this election and these fears and these issues in the longer historical context.
But you need to add some reality to that. I mean, whites are historically afraid that property values will drop as a result of what blacks do. The evidence suggests precisely the opposite, that by and large, when blacks move into a previously all-white neighborhood, property values rise for a number of reasons that we can talk about later. But those fears are really ungrounded, and as Dominic knows, those white ethnics are by and large insulated from the kind of crime that occurs on the west side and south side that affects those same blacks who voted for Harold Washington and didn't say they were worried about crime.
Will the twain ever meet? I mean, it seems as though
Chicago has an opportunity to do something different from almost every other community in the country. Historically, blacks get elected with a strong black vote and very little white support. Chicago has an opportunity to broaden that base. Now, there are some exceptions to that. Ed Brooke in Massachusetts and Tom Bradley in L.A. come to mind. But in reality, if Harold Washington can put together a broad enough base of white support and Hispanic support, that'll be news in America.
Absolutely. We could actually be leading a whole new trend in American politics if that happens. Harold so far has been able to put together somewhat of a coalition. It's not as wide, I think, as he would like. But it is a wider coalition than he had in the last election, and it seems to be expanding.
Well, blacks get elected by and large because blacks vote for blacks.
Sure.
All right, joining us now, we mentioned Hispanics, a little out of breath. Just getting here to join us is Juan Andrade, who's the director of the Midwest Voter Registration Project. What have you found as you've gone around the city today? We've talked here about how Byrne voters are concerned about taxes and crime. Washington voters concerned about fairness to all races and jobs. Those are the top two things. Much different agendas. Do Hispanics have a third agenda?
No, we're still analyzing the opinions part of our exit poll. What we have focused upon is candidate preference and voter turnout. And we're finding that voter turnout was kind of moderate early in the afternoon. It's picking up now, and it should end up pretty strong. We think we're going to hit at least a 70%, probably just a little bit lower than the city as a whole. And the most interesting thing probably that we have found compared to the primary of '83 is that the mayor's base of support has expanded so much in the Hispanic community, to where last night we did not even expect either candidate to carry the Hispanic vote per se because of the number of candidates that were in the primary that were running. But we have found, much to our surprise today, that the mayor is actually carrying the Hispanic vote, and this was not really, we didn't really
Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Well, obviously,
let's talk issues here.
The last 3 years, his appointments of Hispanics to city administration, the jobs and that Hispanics have been given, and of course, the 100% increase in allocations to services in the community has without a doubt helped the mayor quite a bit.
All right, Mr. Andrade, thank you. Professor Sampson and Professor Pacyga, thank you.